I'm such a messy crafter. Kind of embarrassing. Hello, my friends. Bella Maldonado here, and today I thought of making a tarot card. And I got a little inspired from a collage that I did about 3 years ago. And if you want to see the video, I have the card up there in the corner. That was my first inspiration. My second inspiration was the myriad of videos that I saw on YouTube on collage paper dolls, more specifically magazine collage paper dolls. And what I love about them is that you have a big head with a little body and big eyes and small feet or big feet. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be so cute for a tarot card. So I thought for my first one, maybe I'll either do an Empress or a High Priestess. That was my first idea. I started looking for magazines, and I don't subscribe to anything, so I had to go dumpster diving. Not actual dumpsters. I went to the recycling bin in my building right next to the mailboxes where people just dump their catalogs that they have no use for. I came home, brought my stash, and I started going through it. First thing that I found was a photo of Miss Janelle James. I thought, that's my Empress. And then I started going through some other pages, and the cover story for that People magazine was a celebration of Carol Burnett's 90th birthday. And she was wearing this outfit right here. And I thought, oh, that's nice and sparkly. And I found another picture where she's wearing the same outfit, but it was a little brighter. And I thought, okay, here we go. I'm taking Carol Burnett's top. That's gonna be my Empress's top. And then I saw an article on different ways to wear your cargo pants. So here are some cargo pants. And I thought, all right, let me start putting this together and see what happens. So I have Carol Burnett's torso, and we got the cargo pants that I'll stick in here to see what we've got so far. Okay. These are so cute. They make me laugh. And I found a flower, and I'm like, well, our Empress has to have a flower in her hair. But then I started looking at this a little more, and the position of her hands, I don't know, it didn't seem very Empressy, you know? She has her hands held together like she's a little nervous and jittery. Like, I don't know. And then I had cut out Carol Burnett's eyes from a different page, and I put them on her, and all of a sudden her expression looked completely different. And she looked a little suspicious. And I was like, this is definitely not screaming Empress. But I still want to work with this because I love the look. I think it's cute. What else can I do? What can I turn this into that is not the Empress? And I'm looking at her, I'm like, okay, she does look nervous with her hands like that. And I'm thinking, okay, the first thing that came to mind was the Nine of Swords. But like, I don't know, it's anxious, yes, but I felt like the eyes that I had weren't screaming only anxiety. There was something more going on. She kind of looked like she didn't want to get caught. And then all of a sudden I started thinking, oh, what about the Seven of Swords? Okay, so I was all set with the Seven of Swords. And I had this project, all these little pieces cut out, sitting on my cabinet for about a month because I was always coming up with an excuse with why I couldn't do this. Oh, I don't have time to record a video. I'm not inspired, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, when I said, okay, I'm doing this, I get all the pieces and the eyes are missing. The Carol Burnett eyes are missing. And that's what made it. But anyway, I said, okay, I'm gonna look for another pair of eyes that kind of gave that same expression of something's not right here. So I found these. She looks like she is up to no good. So I'm happy with these giant eyeballs. I'm happy with the jitteriness in the hands. This wasn't my initial plan, but I was having fun with how this is all coming together. So if you're not familiar with the Rider-Waite-Smith version of the Seven of Swords, this is it right here. And you see we have somebody who is holding on to 5 swords, and 2 swords are kind of stuck in the ground. And from my understanding, this is a military camp, so there's some tents back there, and there's some flags waving in the background, and our character here probably stole those swords, and you see him sneaking away. The position of his little hop over here, you can see he's sneaking away, and he's also looking behind him to make sure he's not getting caught. So this is the vibe that I'm going for with our paper doll here. What can I do for the background? Because I like the idea of using tents, but obviously she's very modern, so she's not going to be in a military camp that looks like that. And she's not really dressed for the military, let's be honest. Cargo pants and all, she's just not dressed for it. So I'm thinking, okay, what else has tents? She can't be camping because, again, she's too dressed up for that. But then I started remembering that there's a thing called glamping, where people who are interested in the idea of camping but are very high maintenance, and they go on these quote unquote camping trips, but the tents are very fancy. It has everything you can possibly need and more. So I went online looking for a background. So I found these tents, and this is actually one of those glamping places. I mean, look at this. There's a jacuzzi right in front of the tents. So I was thinking, okay, we can put this maybe in her background. Oh no, she fell apart. I couldn't find any swords, so I had to cheat a little bit and go online and print some swords because I knew I wasn't gonna find 7 of them. I got these swords and I printed them out, but it's okay, it's not cheating. It doesn't really matter where you get your swords from as long as you get them. So I'm thinking maybe she can hold on to the swords, like maybe a couple of them. And I'm wondering, maybe should I cut like a little slit like right above her hand so the handle pokes out? Maybe I'll do that. I don't know if I can get 5 in her hand like this guy over here, but I can get a few, something like that. And then maybe I can have a couple over here that she's leaving behind because she can't carry all of them. To make sure I have 7, right? Is that 7 or 8? Hold on. That's 4. Oh, I have 8. I think I printed an extra in case I had another eyeball situation. So we've got 3 swords over here and 4 swords over there. And then I'm thinking I'm going to cut this in the same proportion as a standard tarot card. And I'm also going to paint the background. So maybe I'll paint it, maybe I'll use some watercolors that maybe match this blue sky and then start working on creating a background. So here are my watercolors. Let me look at this swatch to see which blue is going to match the best with the sky here. And that one's not quite right. It's a little too light. This one's not bad. And ooh, you know what else? I'm going to use my gold watercolors because she's so glamorous. Okay, so this is the final background. I mean, the gold came out pretty cool. What we need to do is put the doll together first. Bring out our face, our sparkly jacket, and our fancy cargo pants. Okay, so I'll work on putting those elements together. And the question is, what kind of glue should I use? So I have this Scotch clear glue. It's good, but it's messy. I also have this quickie glue, which is really good for really small, intricate cutouts. Probably I can use this with the swords. First thing, I guess, is to attach the blouse to her head here. Let me put the glue on her neck. Or you know what, let me do it here. Is that enough to hold it together? And then I'll just put it, is that a good spot? Maybe a little higher. Next we have to get her cargo pants. We could put those right around there. So around there, because I want to leave room for the swords to come out this way. So maybe there. Okay. All right, so there's our lady. We have to attach her eyes. So the question here, should I round the corner so it's not so sharp? And also because it's almost going off her head. So let me see if I can round the corner a little bit. Let's see. You want to make sure that the bridge of the big head lines up with the bridge of the little head, because that's what makes it funny. So let me get some glue on this. All right. And let's see, do we want to tilt it like this? It cracks me up. Let's try to get under here a little bit. And then some over here. Oh, you see, did I get glue on her face? I got glue on her face. Let's put a little flower in her hair. I think that's probably going to be the easiest part of all of this. So maybe I'll put it there. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, even though she's not our Empress, doesn't mean she can't look cute. Now we have to put the slits so that she can carry her swords. Now I cut there. All right, I think that worked. So let me get one sword in there just to see if it gives the illusion that she's holding on to this. Okay, there's one. Now before I put all the swords in, I'm gonna have to resize this tent because I think I sized it to the full width of the paper, but since I have these borders here because of the watercolor, I'm gonna have to cut this down. And then ultimately I'm gonna have to decide, do I want borders on my card at all? And do I just end up cutting the borders at the end? I don't know. But for now, let's see. That's where that border is there. So I'll make a marking with something. I mean, I can, no. Okay, I got a pencil. That's where I want to cut it because I don't want to cut on this side. We have to keep that jacuzzi. So let's see, the border is right around there. Alrighty, I'm gonna use my cutting board because that is clearly not a straight line. And that's, oh my goodness, as a crafter, I hate that I can't do anything in straight lines. I don't know what my issue is, but cutting straight is not a superpower that I have. You know, and okay, in all seriousness, I can't even cut straight with a cutting tool. Sometimes I don't know what my problem is. I have to go to crafting school. Let's hope that was straight. Let's see. And the right size. Oh, that's another thing. I have to get the superpower to learn how to measure correctly. All right, that looks like it fits in there. You know what would happen to me? I'd end up gluing this down to the tape. So I think we're ready to take the tape off of this, right? Let's do the unveiling of the background. All right, we're down to the last piece. So satisfying. And we did it without any rips so far. Oh, nice. And no spillage. Wow, look at me. I'm gonna glue this down, right? Is that the next thing that I wanna do? Well, I guess the next question also is, when I'm done with this, do I wanna throw a layer of Mod Podge just to give it a final gloss and to keep everything together? I don't know, maybe. I mean, that's what I did with my other collage with what was his name? The Emperor with No Clothes, the one that I put in the info card. So maybe I'll do a thing of Mod Podge at the end. We'll see. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in. All right. So we're gonna have her, I think so we want to stand her at the very edge, or do we want to put her on, well, we can't put her on the platform because then she'll be coming out of the border, but that could be cute too. And that way I don't have to cut the borders and just leave them there. And that could be something that I do, just have things coming out of the border. Should I have her stand? No, I don't want her standing on the platform, I don't think, because she's getting ready to run away. So maybe I'll just keep her on the grass. This is really tricky. All right, so we have another sword. So we have 2 swords, all right. Can we fit a third? A 4th sword? So she's carrying all of those guys. She makes me laugh. Okay, is that what we want? Do I move her over? Now the other thing is, do I want to leave space for the title, 7 of Swords? Because right now I'm kind of running out of space here. But, actually, I mean, when you look at the Rider-Waite-Smith, Pixie didn't put the title on the minor arcana. She only has the number. So maybe I just need to leave space for the number. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to put a title or a number. If I do more of these, which, I mean, so far this is kind of fun. So if I do end up doing more of these, maybe I'll just leave the title and number for last, just to see how I want to make it cohesive throughout. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to make 78 of these. We have to see. I'll worry about title and number later. Does that work? Is this cute? I don't know. I think it's cute. I should probably glue her down first. Is that what I want? I don't know. I don't know what I want. Can't put her off the border here. That's kind of funny too. Like she's running away. Do we have her do that? Do we have her run away? And do it that way? Does that work? Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to keep her on the right side. I lowered her just a bit so her feet come just outside the border. And then this particular sword, I'm going to try to arrange it so it sticks outside the border, and the handle of this sticks outside the border, because I didn't want just one thing coming out, because that would just look like it was a mistake. But if I have several things coming out of the border, then it's intentional. All right, I'm gluing down our girl. Glue gets me nervous. Crafting in general makes me nervous. All right, so now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with these swords here. This is not easy, my friends. These little swords. Oh, so now these guys. Okay, so I think before I ruin this with the Mod Podge, I'm just going to take a picture of it and then Mod Podge it. So I decided against the Mod Podge, at least for now, because if I do enough of these and maybe I want them to have a similar look and feel by putting little doodles or certain designs and maybe putting the numbers or the titles in a similar place, I want to make sure that I don't seal it in with Mod Podge and then I'm stuck. If you had a good time with this video, hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe.